Hi, so we're back to part 2 of how you can master an entrepreneurial mindset. And if you haven't watched part 1, do go check that video out before you watch this one. I go through the tips that you need to help master that mindset. But in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 practical exercises that you can use to help master your entrepreneurial mindset and eliminate your fear and your doubts. Whether you're a first-time entrepreneur or thinking about starting something, or you've been in this game for a while, I think this video will be helpful. And the first exercise is something called the fear expedition. Really, with my own personal journey with ACE, fear was the main thing that stopped me from starting this journey any sooner. And really, I wish I had conquered it or at least learned how to manage it way before I did. So fear expedition is really actually fully immersing yourself in your fears. It's a bit like if you're afraid of heights and actually just doing a bungee jump. Sounds scary? Yes, but actually quite effective. So what you actually do is you choose one specific fear that you're dealing with in your entrepreneurial journey, and then you set a time aside for that and fully immerse yourself in it. And that could include researching your fear completely from head to toe, or talking to someone who's actually been through what you fear. This exercise actually helps demystify the fear, because a lot of the time fear is amplified in how we think and how we feel. And actually talking to someone or actually researching the fear, you're able to then realize that your fear can be controlled. And what you're fearing actually is something completely manageable. So rather than run away from your fear, face it head on. And the second exercise is something that's called the what's the worst that can happen game. I recommend dedicating a journal or a note page for this. Whenever a fear or a doubt arises, write down the worst case scenario, the absolute worst outcome that you can possibly imagine. Then break down that worst case scenario into smaller manageable steps. By doing this, even you'll realize that the worst case scenario that you can imagine may not be as catastrophic after all. And again, our fear is basically amplified in our brains, and if we write it down and actually physically work it out, we realize that actually it's a lot more manageable than we think it is. And that's when you actually gain control over your fears. And the third exercise is something called the doubt reflection journal. Create a doubt reflection journal to help track your doubts through time. Whenever you encounter a doubt, just write it down and then write what would support it and refute it there down as well. Actually, a lot of the time our own doubts are basically baseless worries, and only a very few of them are actually valid concerns. And number 4, create an empowering playlist. Now, we all know how music can affect the soul and how music can affect us and how we feel. When we're sad, we listen to sad songs. When we're happy, we listen to happy songs. So compile a playlist of songs that actually create and generate confidence and empowerment for you. It may sound silly, but it's actually really helpful. We can actually condition our minds with music, and so if we play our playlist and we're feeling empowered, we will always feel empowered when we play the playlist. And so use music to actually shift your mindset from doubt to determination. And finally, create a confidence avatar or an alter ego for yourself. A bit like how Beyonce's alter ego is Sasha Fierce, create one similar for you for your business and your journey. Whether it's a hero in a comic or a video game, create a character for yourself. Describe them, their appearance, their traits, their skills. And then whenever self-doubt creeps in, just channel that inner alter ego and that avatar. Some people might even use a piece of clothing. So for example, glasses or a watch or a top or something like that. It then allows you to wear a mental armor so that you approach challenges with much more determination and the skills that you should have. Now, I know I mentioned I was going to talk about 5 exercises, but I'm just going to throw in a 6th bonus one for you. And it's something called the reverse risk analysis. A lot of the time our fear makes us think about the worst case scenario. But in this exercise, let's think about the best case scenario. Imagine your business or whatever it is that you want to do is already a success. Then work your way backwards and then figure out the steps you need in order for you to get there. This unique approach actually shifts your mindset into looking at the positive outcomes rather than negative ones. And it really encourages a more proactive planning process than really a planning process out of fear. So yeah, there you have it. If you haven't checked out part 1, do go check it out. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in my own journey with ACE, do subscribe. I try and vlog as much as I can, but if there's nothing happening at the moment, I do deep dive videos like this one. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!